Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good evening to you all. I'm Majid Munas and this is Evening News. Look into the top stories this evening. President Abdul Yamin appoints Abdul Said as the new Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Deputy Speaker of Parliament Huluhanweru MP Musa Manik expresses joy over the dismissal of former Chief Justice Ahmed Faiz Hussain from the Supreme Court Judges Bench and says that yesterday was the Maldivian judiciary's Independence Day. And government's task force says that the water crisis in Mala has finally come to an end. President Abdul Yamin appoints Abdul Said as new Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The appointment was made at the President's office last night, shortly after the Parliament voted in favour of appointing Said for the position. The oath was administered by Supreme Court Justice Ali Hamid, after which President Yamin presented the letter of appointment to Said. During last night's sitting, Parliament unanimously voted in favour of the appointed, with all 55 MPs present voting in favour. MPs belonging to opposition MDP did not take part in the vote. Said has filled the position during the transitional period as well. He was the first Chief Justice of the first Supreme Court of the country. In addition to Said, remaining justices on the Supreme Court Judges bench are Ali Hamid, Adam Muhammad, Abdul Arif and Dr. Ahmed Abdul. Deputy Speaker of Parliament Huluhanweru MP Musa Manik expresses joy over the dismissal of former Chief Justice Ahmed Faiz Hussain and Justice Muttasim Adnan from the Supreme Court Judges Bench and says that yesterday was the Maldivian judiciary's Independence Day. Addressing Monday's Parliament sitting, he said that major blunders were made in the judicial system in the presence of the two judges.
When I faced police brutality and was injured during the events that day, the Commissioner of Police then accused that I was putting on a drama. Even President Dr. Wahid accused that I was putting on a show and faking my injuries. MDP members had done everything to defend the Chief Justice who had remained silent on the matter. While all this was happening, our spiritual leader, Mohammed Nasheed of Canarige, accused me of taking bribes. This is disappointing. But this is something we have to talk about today. So there's no need for MDP MPs to talk about the brutality I faced that day around here.
Musa also made some strong accusations against his party MDP, saying that the party's leadership was corrupt. He criticized the party's leader, former President Mohammed Nasheed, as well. He said that MDP members are trying to defame him in order to conceal the blunders made during the Nasheed administration. He went on to say that despite criticism from his own party, he will run in the next presidential election and win it. Musa further said that although MDP members are now talking about the police brutality he faced during President Qayyum's rule, Nasheed administration has buried those stories.
I have to ask MDP MPs not to talk about it today. Today the scene is changing. Instead of working for the good of humanity, MDP MPs are standing out in defense of former Chief Justice Faiz. But the people who opposed and objected to it are being accused of taking bribes. They are being labeled as imposters, as traitors who staged a coup against their own party.
The water crisis in Mali following the fire incident at Mali Water and Sewerage Company and WSC on the 4th of this month has come to an end, says government's task force assigned to handle this crisis. The task force issued a statement last night stating that the crisis has ended and that water will be supplied to residents of Mali City from today as usual. The task force thanked the people for their assistance and patience demonstrated during the crisis. All the panel boards used by NWSC were burned beyond use during the fire. PPM's president and former president of Maldives, Maumoon Abdul Gayoom, says that newly appointed Chief Justice Abdul Said is the most suitable candidate for the post. The former president sent out a tweet last night following Said's appointment, saying that he is the most suitable man for the position. For the parliament, unanimously approved appointing Said for the post last night. President Abu Yamin appointed him for the post last night. Judicial Service Commission passed a decision yesterday endorsing the appointment. As per the decision, Said's name was the only nomination President Yamin forwarded to the Parliament for approval. The appointment comes following the dismissal of former Chief Justice Ahmed Faiz Hussain by the Parliament yesterday. There are more news still ahead. Please stay tuned with us for more news.
أريد داتا باكيج تمدوريكو فريم إنترنت بينهم كلها نودي هنو روبيان فيشيجين بار جي بي همية بينهم كلهم بفرصة إتورا بينهم كوري كمغابيس أراني دي بهراج جيجي أغوهيو إكسس يوزي تشارج كمبا بيكا ديهلا می پیکیج تا اکٹیویٹ کرے بوما سٹار نوے ہیش ڈائل کروا سمارٹ فون تک پوری ہم نیٹورک.
Welcome back. The Japanese government has provided a grant assistance of 100 million yen to the Maldives to help tackle Maldives water crisis. The two countries signed exchange of notes on grant assistance at a ceremony held today at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The exchange of notes is set to contribute to the further development of friendly and cooperative relations between Japan and Maldives. Foreign Minister Dunya Mahmood and His Excellency Mr. Nobuhito Hobo, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Japan to the Maldives, signed the exchange of notes. Under the terms of the exchange of notes, the government of Japan shall extend to the government of Maldives a grant of 100 million Japanese yen, which translates to 12.9 million rupiah. Foreign Minister Dunya Mahmood thanked to Japanese ambassador on behalf of the government. The signing ceremony was witnessed by senior officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Finance and Treasury, and the officials of the Embassy of Japan in Colombo. Economic Minister Mohammed Said says that it is President Abu Yamin's wish to make the country's main gateway, Ibrahim Nasser International Airport's passenger handling capacity to increase to 4 or 5 million in future. He made the statement while speaking to the press before departing to China last night to attend the inaugural meeting of the Joint Committee on Economic and Trade Cooperation. He said that as the airport is the biggest generator of profit for the country's economy and its tourism sector, President Yamin wishes for the airport to have the capacity to handle 4 or 5 million passengers and be up to par with the modern standards. Noting that while 1.2 million tourists are expected to visit Maldives this year, he said that the main airport has no additional runways. He added that the airport's terminal has undergone major developments and that work has begun to gain technical and financial assistance from China to carry out major developmental efforts for the airport next year. Three cabinet ministers have departed to China to attend the inaugural meeting of the Joint Committee of Economic and Trade Cooperation established by the governments of Maldives and China. The three ministers are visiting China to attend the inaugural meeting of the Joint Committee of Economic and Trade Cooperation, a mechanism established by Maldives and China to plan for pragmatic cooperations in different fields and promote the sustainable development of China-Maldives economic relations. The three ministers who will attend the meeting set to begin on Tuesday are Fisheries Minister Dr. Muhammad Shaini, Economic Minister Muhammad Said, and Minister at the President's Office Muhammad Hussain Sharif. Speaking to the press before departure, Minister Said said that the meeting will be mainly focused on major developmental projects of the Yamin administration and that talks will be held with China's Commerce Ministry to establish a free trade area to enhance trade links between the two countries. He said that this will increase import-export activity between the two countries and bring numerous benefits for mutual trade. Speaking to the press, Fisheries Minister Dr. Shiny said that discussions will be focused on expediting the construction of Malé-Hulule Bridge and that two sides will also sign agreements on constructing runways at Malé Ibrahim Nasir International Airport. Minister at the President's Office, Mohammed Hussein Sharif, said that the meeting will also entail the signing of the official agreement of Maldives partnership in China's 21st Century Maritime Silk Route project. Other members of the Joint Commission include Foreign Minister Dunya Mamoon and Tourism Minister Ahmad Adib. State ministers and individuals holding equivalent positions in the government will receive a monthly phone allowance of 1,500 rupiah starting this month. A circular published on the Finance Ministry's website states that starting this month, all state institutions should follow the new guidelines which allocate monthly phone allowances of 1,500 rupiah for state ministers, 1,000 rupiah for deputy ministers and 800 rupiah for advisors to ministers. While individuals holding other political posts will receive 500 rupiah as phone allowance, division or department heads will also pocket the same amount. While a head of a section will receive 350 rupiah, other employees will be given an allowance between 100 and 250 rupiah as decided by the Finance Executive. Between 100 and 250 rupiah as decided by the Finance Executive based on the frequency of phone calls that have to be made for official purposes during or off working hours. It's all what we have for tonight. Thank you for watching and wish you a pleasant night ahead.